So I know I didn't put this video up, but in the past I recorded a video where I talked about basically my opinion on why I think if you're a college student and you're about to graduate college, or just as a rule when you graduate college, I think we should open more of the mindset of going contracting, especially if you can stay home after college. Do contracting before you get into full-time jobs. And I gave reasons for that in that video. If I can figure it out, I'll find a way to put it up here. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So this video was not meant to like build on that. It's kind of its own thing, but it does have to do with contract jobs. And I have a question for y'all, and I want y'all's opinion on this. Do you guys think that contract jobs are starting to become the only jobs that are actually like available and we can entertain, or are we still screwed with pretty much all jobs in general? Here's why I say that. So just a quick recap about me. I'm a full-time employee now, but last year and most of my work experience up to this point has been me as a contractor. And I talked about, including in that other video, how it's very diverse. It can be very lucrative, but there are some other sides to it as well, stuff like that. And again, I'm in the tech realm. My job is either some would consider it IT adjacent or IT. I say I'm in IT, but I primarily focus on the IT service management side of things. So some will say it's IT adjacent because I use IT principles to do my job, but it is more on the business side. Either way, ever since I moved and crossed over into the IT realm after getting my master's, my emails for different IT job opportunities has skyrocketed. It's not even funny. For database administrators or engineers to, like cloud engineers, security analysts from time to time, e-discovery, people want me to go back to e-discovery, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I've thought about it, but I like that my job's not technically inclined. And even though I'm sure I would do better this time, I did terrible the first time around. But that's neither here nor there. My point being that when it comes to the tech realm, and my mentor, this happens to him too, he'll get so many emails about $60, $65 an hour contracts, 6 months long term with no end date, 1 year long. It's on site in Texas somewhere, or it's remote, which is fine. It's a hybrid, whatever the case is. You have to be in Florida to do it, or you have to be in Jersey to do it. Chicago, I was entertaining a contract for that one time. Unfortunately, didn't get the job, but my point being, you can go all over, and a lot of them are very high paying. The frustration with that, as well as with full-time jobs, is a lot of headhunters, not recruiters. A whole lot of headhunters will take the initiative to reach out to you on LinkedIn or whatever. Some may even reach out to you 2 or 3 times if you don't respond. But the one time you respond, you don't hear from them ever again. Or they'll keep the conversation going until they get your resume, and that's that, right? But more times than not, right after you start entertaining those headhunters, the situation doesn't go anywhere. That, again, applies for jobs all over the place. With that said, even though, at least my personal experience, and it seems like everyone is getting ghosted, I've been ghosted from all directions. And yet, it seems like contracts are still easier to come by and entertain than full-time jobs. And then we already know that a lot of jobs are being promoted or advertised online multiple times over. So the amount of jobs that supposedly has opened up is actually being inflated, but we can't tell the difference. The job may not actually exist. Some companies will put up, like, I remember this one company that I won't name. I was trying to find a cybersecurity role, and I applied to them. I tried reaching out to the people and all that stuff. And eventually it came out on LinkedIn that someone was, I don't think they worked for that company, but they noticed a lot of people were complaining about applying to that position for this specific company, as well as just the general practice. And he came out and said that the job posting is most likely not real because it was very generic. When they put out these job postings, they're supposed to be specific of the specialty and things that you're going to be working in. But this one just said like entry-level cybersecurity analyst or something like that. And it kind of just left it at that. It wasn't very specific in terms of the domain that you would be working in. And because of that and some other reasons, somebody was like, a lot of companies are doing this where they're posting kind of like fake job posts in addition to posting the same job posts over and over and over again. And now our view of the market is skewed. We think there are far more jobs available when there really isn't. I want to say last week, not very long, news came out that over 600,000 new jobs have been created. It was either since the beginning of 2024 or over the last quarter, I think. Something like that. Like somehow 600,000 new jobs have opened up in the US very recently since earlier this year. Bottom line. Hey guys, future me here. Want to make a quick correction. I made a mistake on this part. Turns out it's actually the other way around. It's not 600,000 jobs were opened as of May of this year. Actually, I was having a hard time finding that article and I couldn't figure out why. And come to find out, as of May of this year, over 600,000 jobs were lost, while at the same time, over 200,000 jobs were created. So in reality, I think it's somewhere between 300, 400,000 jobs were ultimately lost. It depends on the sectors, but I actually made a mistake on that part. So as of May of this year, I'm recording this in late June, so I don't know how things have changed. But as of May of this year, the news is over 600,000 jobs were actually lost in the U.S., while at the same time, over 200,000 other ones were made at the same time. All right, back to the regular video. Since earlier this year. Bottom line, I just don't believe it. The way certain things have been going, the way so many positions are being left unfilled, in tech, out of tech, I just question whether or not there's actually over 500,000 jobs lying around, and you guys actually need these people to work because you have projects to do, you have clients to, satisfy, you got money to make, you don't want to lose any, you don't want to get sued because you don't fulfill your obligations. So you need manpower. But somehow no one is still able to get a job. Not like either in a realm that they want to or a realm that pays enough. Whatever the case is, like people are not landing jobs like that. We are officially in the time where we can go, whether you leave voluntarily or you get fired, you can get dropped from a job for whatever reason, and you can look forward to at least a year without landing anything. That's where we are. And getting referrals, I'm telling you from experience, getting referrals doesn't help. Whatever personal connections, playing the game, revamping your resume, into different ways, it's not doing anything. So even the cheat code of referrals and connections and all that stuff, it's not doing anything. We can talk about biases and prejudices, but when it comes down to it, everybody's getting screwed and we don't know why. So it's becoming a very pessimistic landscape at this point. And that when you're talking about over 600,000 new jobs have opened up, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, when people actually start landing jobs. In addition to landing jobs that allow them to pay their bills, take care of their families, and still manage to live a decent life. And this mainly applies to full-time jobs. Because again, contracts are still hard to get into. But again, I've been having easier times getting into contract jobs, even ones that don't relate to my actual field, than getting a full-time job that's in my actual field. Right? In addition to my email being blown up by all these headhunters and, whether they're staffing agencies or whether they're from the companies themselves, I'm still getting bombarded by them, and some more than others go somewhere to a degree, right? So that's why I asked this question. I bring this up to you guys. I want to see what you guys think. Do you think we're at a point where not only should, not even just college grads, but just in general, should we open up the mindset more being contractors when it comes to gathering relevant work experience, diverse work experience, good pay, hopefully, especially very lucrative pay? Or are we looking at a situation where like full-time jobs are just out at this point and contracts are the only way to go? Because the more time rolls on, the more I'm like, contracts are literally our only choice. If you manage to have an actual full-time job, it seems like the luckiest thing in the Western world right now. But contracts, they'll always be there. It may require some type of industry shift. It might have to require you go into a trade and you haven't done that before. It might require something, but some form of actual contract work, I'm starting to see and feel like that's our salvation right now. That's like the main way anyone can find something that will allow them to get paid well, be healthy, not as stressed out, take care of family, all that stuff. Even just to take care of themselves. I'm an individual. I never had to take care of anybody when I was in Dallas. And Dallas just wasn't good. The job market that I thought it was, and how many jobs were open, and the ability to kind of laterally move however you want it, get a job the same day. No. And I might actually talk about that in a different video, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, I want to go ahead and get your opinion on this. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. Do you think full-time jobs are kind of seeing their way out? Do you think different forms of contract work is pretty much the name of the game now and we need to pivot? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.